Hey everybody, this is Andrew Brown and welcome back to another follow along, and this time we're going to learn about Helm. So what I'm going to do is go to Google and type in Helm, and here we go to the Helm website. So Helm is a way of packaging your various scripts, like your manifest files, into a single package that people can use to quickly set up projects here. And so I'm just waiting for the Helm page to load. I'm not sure why it's so slow here today, but we'll click it again. Maybe they knew I was up to something and that's why it's slow, but here it is, the package manager for Kubernetes. So yeah, just think of anything like Ruby or Python or Node.js, like npm install. So you're installing basically a program, but it's installing it like those files into your cluster. So above here we have charts, and I'm not going to show you how to package a Helm project because that gets pretty complicated, but we will install a project and take a look at the contents of one. So Helm has this artifact hub where you can view or browse a bunch of different Kubernetes projects, but I'm going to go up here and just type in Postgres. And I just want to see one that actually has a bunch of code so that we can just kind of look at what would be in a Helm directory. There's one for Azure that is pretty good, so I'll type that one in here. And it's Bitnami for Azure. Okay, so we'll go here, and here is a project. And if we go to the GitHub repository, they're almost always hosted on GitHub, but I'm just looking for the templates. If we click into templates here, it shows us all the files that are involved. And notice that we have these like handlebar stuff here. So you can see that you might have a template like a config map, but then you have this pragmatic stuff where you can pass in values to Helm and it will change that stuff. But let's go find the repository if we can here. That's what I'm looking for. Where are you? I know it's here somewhere. So, I mean, that's the Azure container repository. So I'm not sure if it'll show us that. Let's go ahead and grab that. I actually never go to the Azure container repository. There we go. So we can't see it there. So maybe this one is not a great example, which is totally fine. But here it says this is the repo. Okay, it is on GitHub. There we go. So here it says Postgres HA, so high availability, I assume. And the idea here is you have templates. And in your templates, you can start to see we have a variety of different files. You have Postgres, PG pool. Again, I'm not going to get super deep into how this actually works, but just to show you that the files are there. Then there's this values.yaml thing. This defines the type of parameters that can be passed into the template. So there's a lot there. I would imagine that when you use Helm, you'd have a command flag like hyphen values, and you pass the values you want, or you could specify a file most likely. But anyway, that's the contents of a file. But let's take a look at how we go ahead and install one. So I'm just going to open up my off screen here, my Helm instructions when I was trying to find something out. And I'm just trying to find an example of something that was that worked very well. And actually, you know what? I used Juicebox from OWASP, and that was actually really easy to use. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to browse all packages. And I think what I did is I went to like security, or maybe I went to web applications. That's probably what I did. And if we go here, we'll probably see the Juicebox app. So it is here, or Juice Shop, sorry. And so if we scroll on down, you have some instructions here, but the real instructions, you can see there's all the values configured here. But if you go to install, it gives you the 2 steps. So here it is. But we'll need Helm first installed on our micro-K8s environment. So launch your micro-K8s environment. And then once you're in there, we're going to do an ls. We're going to need to install Helm. So if you do micro-K8's status, what you'll see here is that they do have a Helm plugin, add-on, whatever you want to call it, module right here. Oh, it is enabled on this cluster. Great. So, but anyway, the thing is like we want to use Helm 3. There is Helm 2 in here. So if you were to do micro-K8's enable Helm, that would give us 2. And the problem with that is that it uses a tiller server. It's like this additional thing that's really complicated. And so we'd want to activate Helm 3. Now, it looks like it got activated for another reason. We could have been using something else and it had to be activated. So I think if we typed in like micro-K8's Helm 3, that's how we would probably access it. Yeah, but I'm going to actually go and directly install the Helm CLI without having to do it through micro-K8s. And we can just do that on Ubuntu by doing sudo snap install Helm. I'm not sure if it will ask us to do classic. Yeah, it asks us to do classic. I don't really understand this whole classic thing, but we'll go ahead and hit enter, and it's going to go ahead and install Helm. And so now we can just type in Helm. Okay, and so if we go back to our juice shop, we're going to copy the first line here because we need to add the repo to know where this is stored. All right, so that could be on GitHub, it could be on Elastic Container Repository, Azure's Container Repository, Docker Hub maybe. I guess not Docker Hub because that wouldn't make any sense, but some kind of repository, right? And so I'm losing where I am. Here we are. So we'll go ahead and paste that in there. Yeah, I guess ECR and Azure might not make sense because that's for Docker containers. But anyway, so if you add the repository, we'll go back here and we'll go grab our install chart. And if we go back and paste that in, it will go basically set up that application. So if we read it here, it says default namespace deployed, get the application URL by running these commands. And so this is the command we can run. So all it's doing is doing a port forward because it's already running. So if we do kubectl get pods, I bet we can probably see it running there. So there is the my juice shop. I'm not sure what else it installed, but I guess if we wanted to know, we would just probably go to the repo and take a look here. So where is that repo? Where are you? Source code here on GitHub. And so this is the, I think the one that we're using here. And if we go to templates, so it deployed a config map, a deployment, an ingress, a service. So it deployed a bunch of stuff. And what we'll do is go back here. I really wish I had deployed that in a namespace so we could easily delete it, but that's totally fine. I don't think we're going to run into a lack of space here. But what we'll do is paste this line in here. That's the one they suggested. But one addition, I'm going to do address 0.0.0.0 so we can access this outside of our cluster. And I'm going to change the port here from 3000 to like 8081, something like that maybe. But clearly the app is running on port, is running on port 3000. So almost like a Ruby on Rails app. It's probably PHP though. When you talk about vulnerable apps, PHP is usually the one to go with. So anyway, this is now running, and I don't know if the ports are open on that. So what we'll do is go over to EC2 and maybe just open all the TCP ports for our IP address so we don't have to worry about opening individual ports because this is just for development. So we'll go to security, we'll go to security groups. And yeah, so we only opened up that port, but I'm just going to go ahead and say all TCP ports. Okay, and that'll just save us a lot of trouble there, so we'll save that rule. And then what we'll do is get the IP address of the CC2 instance that's running our environment here. So if we go up here to details, we're going to grab that public IP address. We said it's on 8081. I'm just hoping that it works, 8081. Fingers crossed. There it is, and here's the OWASP juice shop. If you've never heard of OWASP, it's for security. So it stands for Open Web Application Security Project, but really it's a organization that has, I think it's nonprofit. Yeah, nonprofit organization that has not just one project, but a lot of different projects and resources and stuff to help you secure applications. And they have like chapters like user groups, meetups all around the world. And so, I mean, this is one of their apps or projects that helps you learn how to better secure apps. So it's purposely insecure, but that is the OWASP app. Okay, so maybe we'll just kill the OWASP app, maybe by killing the deploy there, just so it's not running here, but we'll do kubectl get pods, and I'm just gonna kill it. So say kubectl delete, delete pods, this one. Okay, and those other resources are still there, but because it is an app that's designed to be vulnerable, I know it's only accessed by our IP address, I figured we should just kill it just in case. But yeah, that's all I wanted to show you with Helm. It wasn't that hard. There you go.